I'm Madeline Saxler, Communications Specialist for the South Washington County School District. Today's show features the use of technology in our schools from preschool through high school as part of our digital learning initiative known as Transforming Thinking Through Technology. To begin, we visited Park High School teacher Bonnie Tho Austin's Small Engines class. In this class, students were creating time-lapse videos with their iPads while they disassembled and reassembled engines. They also referenced an iBook made by Ms. Tho Austin with instructions and demonstrations to assist them in the process. Let's take a look and see how the integration of technology is enhancing this lesson at Park High School. Today we're at Park High School in Bonnie Tho Austin's Small Engines classroom. And can you tell us a little bit about what students are doing here today?
Sure. I have students in Small Engines A, and they are actually tearing apart a 8.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine. Along with that, they also use their iPads to create a time lapse of the process of the deassembly and the reassembly of the engine. This way they're able to edit the video, the time lapse, add voiceover, add titles, and music too. They add music. And they're able to take that home with them and show their parents because they can't take home the engine. So that's what they're doing.
Great. So would you say that the technology has kind of enhanced this project?
Yes. It makes the project more than just tearing apart an engine and putting it back together. They also are using an iTunes U is where I put all of my different documents, such as an iBook I created. So one student every day sets up their iPad for the time lapse. And the other student uses his iPad to open up and see the documents. Like, for instance, there's a keynote on the iBook, and it shows the reassembly of the engine so they can follow along with the steps. And so together they're working. Also, they're taking notes and notability and loading pictures on the other iPad as well. When they rebuild the engine, they're able to look back, see their own notes, their own resources to figure out how to puzzle that back together. It enhances a different kind of creativity to this project that wasn't there before. They get to do a voiceover of what things that went well, things that didn't go so well, what they would change for next time, and it just adds a different dynamic.
Yeah, that's great. There also seems like there's a lot of collaboration going on.
Oh, absolutely. They have to collaborate with each other, person to person. They don't collaborate so much together on the iPad. But they do because one person is in charge of one job and the other person is in charge of the other job. What they do is if somebody is gone, then they're able to airdrop each other the different, when they were gone, they're able to see what the other student did, which wasn't available to us before, which is really, really valuable. When a student misses a project, a lab, that's something they can't get back. But if their partner can show them, here are the pictures, here's the video, here are the notes I took, it's extremely helpful.
That's great. And you're also the technology integrationist here at Park. Can you talk a little bit about that role?
Yes, I'm the technology specialist at Park High School. So I work with teachers on a one-to-one basis. I go into their classrooms and we come up with a goal on how can we incorporate technology, not just the iPad. The students are using their iPads and the teachers have their MacBooks, incorporate this into their curriculum to enhance creativity, to enhance student learning, and get their excitement level up. And come up with different project ideas. The different things that our teachers are doing we had the English 9 department. Every student created a podcast when introducing the God or Goddesses. They created this podcast with another partner. They added their own instruments, their own musics. They were able to upload it to Dropbox, share it on Schoology, and every student listened to 2 or 3 other podcasts and then were able to comment on it. Science department made stop motion videos of DNA replication. We have another teacher who is creating audio books through iTunes U to share with her students so that they can read along and listen. Math department, they create education videos and then they share them with each other and they review them. Teachers are collaborating with their students online through different websites such as Google, the Google Apps, Schoology. There's so many cool things that their teachers are doing and trying that it's pretty neat.
So as a teacher, how do you think that the iPads are enhancing student learning?
The iPads are an incredible tool. They provide knowledge instantly, and you can communicate instantly. Teachers and students can communicate with one another. Students to student can communicate with one another. Teacher to parent can communicate with one another. The students are able to collaborate with one another, come up with different presentations, projects, and work on them, and they don't even have to be in the same place at the same time. They can be working them on from their each home. Just the vast amount of information that is available to these students that they can have open discussions with their teachers about, peers about, changes the classroom environment to a whole new level of learning and excitement. And it's really, really cool to see what these kids can do.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for all you do here at PreK and for talking to us today.
You're welcome.
So now we're talking with Ethan, who is a junior here at PreK. And Ethan, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how you're using the iPad in this lesson?
Well, we're tearing down the engine and rebuilding it, all while filming it on time-lapse, which is an app on the iPad. And it's really cool because you get to see the progress of the tear down and the rebuild in more of like a stop-motion way, where it takes pictures every 4 seconds and puts them together as a video.
Very cool. And would you say, is this the coolest thing you've used the iPad for in Miss Thowason's class, or what are some other examples?
I think it's the coolest thing in this class and the coolest thing so far in school because, I mean, math class will do problems on it. English class will read a book, but here we'll film the progression of an engine, and then at the end we'll make it run. So I think that's really cool. It's kind of hands-on, and you get to see your work too.
And what do you think the value is to being able to see your work and maybe share that with others?
Well, that's just it. Like, you can share it with others because you can't take the engine home with you, but you can see your engine and you can show your friends, and it's kind of, I guess in a way, like advertising for this class, but it's more than just that because it's educational at the same sense as seeing what you've created over the course of time.
Very cool. Anything else you'd like to add?
I can't think of any, no.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
From the impressive use of technology at the high school level, we will now see how our district's youngest learners are using technology. Leah Bird, our district school readiness coordinator, will narrate a lesson using iPads in one of our preschool classes.
Initially, the teacher will begin by reiterating the learning target and the expectations of the lesson. Students are to put their name at the top, draw a detailed picture, and write a word or a letter to represent a word. The teacher will model all 3 expectations fully for the students. You see that she is drawing a person. Notice that she has drawn the robe, carpet, and even the gavel. Towards the end of the lesson, the group works together to spell the word judge. Notice that judge is spelled J-U-J. This is the way the word is spelled phonetically and is a developmentally appropriate spelling. The students are to start by putting their names at the top. Children have flexibility in how they choose to do this. Some write with a round marker type tip, while others use the keyboard to type their names in. Students then begin on their detailed picture. To end the lesson, 2 students are chosen to share their writing. Notice that each example has a name at the top, a picture, and a letter or word. The first student shares her picture of a visit with a cosmetologist. The teacher points out her name at the top and the detailed picture. The teacher goes on to share that cosmetologist is a pretty tricky word, and so the student chooses to write her friend Alyssa's name instead. Alyssa went with Lay to see the cosmetologist. The second student wrote about shared reading. Shared reading is a part of the daily literacy block. In this picture, she wrote about the book Harold and the Purple Crayon. The student wrote a B to represent the word book.
It's fascinating to see the creative ways that technology is incorporated into the classrooms throughout South Washington County Schools. I'm Madeline Saxler, and thank you for watching.